The Atari VCS has been on the market for a couple years now, and what started as a promising console has stalled out a little bit. So where does the Atari VCS stand, and should you pick one up? Let's find out. So I purchased this console from Best Buy, and I picked it up during one of those deal days during the spring where it was $200 for the all-in console, and I decided that was the price point that I was comfortable with. Normally it is $400 at Best Buy if you go there right now, or you can get it for $300 on Atari's website, which is what I'd recommend doing if you wanted to pick one up. Or you can find one usually on eBay around $200, $250, depending whether you want used or new. You could go that route as well. But either way, I felt like $200 was a good price point, for me at least. At one point, GameStop even clearanced this out at like $99. Atari had a hat bundle for like $180, so another sale might hit, but as of right now, $200 is the cheapest I have seen in quite some time. I know some of you out there are going to be like, $200 is still too much for that console, but just hear me out here. I feel like there's still a place for this console. Unboxing the console was a little, I don't know if you want to say unsatisfying initially. It's pretty flimsy, like you can tell that this is like nothing crazy here. The inner boxes though are fairly nice, so you can see here, I got this one here that has like the Asteroids on it, the Atari logo, Atari VCS there, and then when you open it up, you get some instructions here as well, showing you like the controller pairing, and then you also have a QR code for more details. I feel like it's a nice touch. I would rather have that instead of a piece of paper I'm gonna lose. And other than that, you just got like a really long cord and the controller inside the box here. And I mean, honestly, these are nice long cords, so I do like that they put that with the controllers. And the modern controller feels just like a 360 controller. Honestly, you look at this guy and you have an extremely similar layout. Like, the two of those are super similar in terms of layout, buttons, everything. The only difference that really kind of irks me on this controller is the directional pad. It's just really mushy. This just has no good tactile feel to it. Otherwise, the rest of these buttons and the joysticks themselves, they feel pretty good. I don't have any complaints there. The joystick, however, I don't know, it's fairly light. You do get some orange lights for directional, but I wish it kind of had like a click or something to it, something that's a little more tactile. It just feels really like smushy, just like the original 2600 controller was. And I can't decide if that's good or not, because it gives me that original experience, but I don't know if I want that experience these days. I think I want something a little more tactile out of this. And then both controllers unfortunately charge via micro USB. I feel like this was a missed opportunity in the era of USB-C and standardized ports. Just put the USB-C on the controller. Like, it feels like a no-brainer to me. It would have been much better for charging and just longevity of these controllers down the road. I can't tell you how many times working at Best Buy I saw somebody just mess up one time, putting in the micro USB the wrong way and just destroying a port. The console itself here feels like a premium product. Like, it has some heft to it. You got your two USB ports on the front for your controllers. You got two more on the back here, Ethernet, HDMI, power button. And it really does feel solid. I like the wood grain here that matches the original Atari. And considering this is a premium product, it should feel like one, and it kind of acts like one. You could use this as a small PC. You could add in an SSD for more storage and sideload Windows or Linux, or add some more RAM if you wanted to. It comes with 8 gigs by default, which isn't bad, but you could easily bump it up to 16 or 32 and be good to go with it's a custom Ryzen chip in here. Now, my intention is to use this as a home console, so I'm going to look at this from a home console experience, and initially it was not good. Once I booted up and got it connected to Wi-Fi, it had to find updates. It spun for a while, then it ended up in a boot loop, which I had to go get a keyboard to connect to it, get it out of the boot loop, into the BIOS, try it again, updates again, boot loop, updates again, and then it was like 45 minutes until we were finally to a point where I can actually create my profile for the console. And that's a bad user experience, especially if you're not a fan of tinkering. It took me some Googling to figure out the boot loop issue, took me a little bit of tinkering to figure out what to do when it came to just what I should do, whether I could actually use a keyboard or I needed to do something else, like if I had to flash the BIOS. Some people have to do that. This is not an easy setup console, and if that's what you were looking for going into this, this is not the console for you. But once we got that past that point, the tinkering point, it felt good. Logging into that menu, you have a nice little Asteroids blip. You log into a pretty slick home screen. It downloads the games that you get pre-installed. You get a good chunk of games. You get the Vault installed right away, which is a bunch of 2600 and some other games that came out on arcade cabinets. Really some solid titles like Centipede. You have Tempest. Plenty of classics there to go through and play. You also get a few free games you can grab from the store. And sure, I wish the VCS had things like Dig Dug or Pitfall, but those are like Activision games and they just didn't get licensing to go on the console, but there's still some great titles there. Booting up Yar's Revenge and Centipede took me back like 20 years to when I was playing the Atari 2600 at my parents', or we were at the ice skating rink and there was a Centipede arcade machine. Like, I was so bad, but it was so fun. Like, these are the games that my dad and my mom played, and now I'm playing them and I'm getting another chance to play them again, and it feels great, honestly. There's a couple other features I feel like are worth mentioning here. You do get access to your standard streaming apps too, so if you're interested in Disney, Netflix, Hulu, whatever you're looking for, yeah, those are there. You also have options for Xbox Game Pass or Luna, and Xbox Game Pass, that's, if you can get one of these consoles for around that $200 price point, that's about the same or under where you can also get a Series S. And so if you want to go the streaming Xbox game route, you can get it on the VCS and also get your 100 free Atari games and just sync up an Xbox controller. So after all of that, after going through all the games, all the different apps, pros, the cons, is this console for you? I would say people who have fond memories of Atari, yeah, this is a fun one to have. You get 100 games on the console. You get a fun one where you can tinker with a few things if that's what you're into. But if you're expecting a regular home console experience, that's not what you're going to get with setup on this console. So what do you think? Is this one worth picking up? Are you going to try to find one on a deal, or are you going to pass? Let me know in the comments down below. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, hit the like. It does help the channel, and we'll catch you next time.